Hey guys, welcome to the Cowboy Crunk Show. First of all, congratulations to all the Cowboy fans in the house. If you're a Giants fan, great game, really good competition last night. We played well. We did. Actually, the Giants played pretty well. Eli Manning had an outstanding game, truthfully, and I didn't realize it until I looked at the stats. And we'll go over that. But what I want to go over is what changed, what was different, why we excelled last night, why we looked so good, why everybody was happy, pretty much start to finish. There was a few lapses, and they did actually go back to some of that horrible play calling that we had last week, and they got away from it in the second half. It looked like they prepared for the first quarter. They prepared those first couple drives really well, and after those first couple drives, we went back in the second quarter to some of that play calling that we had in the first game. So I'm not sure why that happened. I really was surprised when they came out in the second half and they adjusted well. I was concerned about that. As you guys know, our coaching staff doesn't adjust well in the second half. And they don't adjust well to injuries. When we have injured players, especially on the line, it seems like they can't make the adjustments, and we did okay. Actually, the second quarter, they were getting to Dak Prescott quite a bit as well, and we made adjustments and shut that down. Connor Williams actually had a pretty good game. He had a couple pulls. He opened up some, he pulled from his left guard position, came over to the right guard position, opened up a really good run for Ezekiel Elliott, and that was really good to see. And guys, that's where we won the game last night. Was in the running game. Ezekiel Elliott didn't have an outstanding running game, but overall we had a very good running game. Tavon Austin had a 15-yard carry. Ezekiel Elliott had 70 something yards. I want to go over that real quick since we're on the running plays here. I've got the Giants pulled up right now. If you guys can see here, Ezekiel Elliott, he had 17 rushes for 78 yards and a TD. His long was for 19. You break that down, that's a pretty good rushing average. He averaged, I think, 4.8 yards a carry. That's right on point. That's what we want. He didn't get as many carries as we probably would like, but it's actually pretty odd. We didn't win the possession, the game possession, and it was really because the time of possession. Sorry, we didn't win the time of possession in this game because Eli Manning actually played so well. But the thing is, we tackled really well. We didn't give up any yards after catch. We shut Odelle Beckham down, and those are the things that kept us in the game. The big thing is, and I want to show you guys this, Ezekiel Elliott, 17 carries for 78 yards, and the comparison for Saquon Barkley, 11 carries for 28 yards, guys. I know it looked like a few times he had some plays, but he also had let's see, in receptions, he had he had 14 receptions for 80 yards. That's really, when you're looking at yards per carry, it's not that great because he had one reception for 18 yards, another one for like 14. So we really contained him. The Hot Boys, which you saw last night, I had the Hot Boys hat on. Matter of fact, I want to switch over real quick, and we'll show you what we did different last night. I'm going to switch over to Hot Boy mode. Here we go, my friends. We are in Hot Boy mode. Them Hot Boys did it up last night, guy. It was really amazing to see that. It was an outstanding game played by our defensive line, our linebackers, and our secondary. While I'm here, I'm going to switch to Hot Boys, but while I'm here, Eli Manning was 33 of 44. So he really had an excellent game, especially for as much pressure as he had. For him to I would say it's probably one of his better games I've seen him play. And that's a compliment to our defense and our secondary. I think it's a combination of the Chris Richard, Marinelli defense. We still have that bend but don't break mentality, kind of. But we are pressuring. We did throw some blitz packages in there, and what it caused them to do, it caused them to get rid of the ball quick. Eli Manning had to make quick passes, and he had a great game. he completed a lot of those passes, but our secondary was on spot, on the point, got the tackle, and that's why on 33 receptions he only had 279 yards, which really, on 33 receptions, a lot of times you're up in the 400 yard range. He did have the one touchdown that was a breakdown on that play. I'll show you that play here in a little bit. On that play, Jeff Heath did get burned. He was looking into the secondary. The tight end Ingram was lined up on the left side. They were about on the 20-yard line, I believe, somewhere around there in the third quarter, I think, or might have been the fourth quarter. I think it was actually in the fourth quarter. Let me see. Yeah, it was in the fourth quarter. That was when they scored 10 points. But Ingram released, ran right up to Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith released him because there was another receiver cutting in front of him. He released him in the middle to Jeff Heath, and you could see Jeff Heath was looking in the backfield. I guess he thought maybe there was going to be a sack or a short pass, and Ingram ran right behind him into the end zone. He was wide open. We'll look at that later. But really, we had an outstanding game. Compliments to our secondary. Compliments to Chris Richard. Compliments to those hot boys, man. They were on fire last night. We were in Eli Manning's ass non-stop. But he like I said, he had an outstanding game, man. Eli Manning played well, and I normally don't compliment him on hardly anything. So let me go here. Cowboys. I'm trying to look at the stats for that, and now I can't find it. Anyways, that was a different stat sheet I was on. But we had 6 sacks last night. Tyrone Crawford had one. DeMarcus Lawrence had one. Taco Charlton had one. And we had multiple rushes. There was so many times I thought we had Eli, and we didn't. And I just so surprised we didn't get an interception with all the way their defense, the way our defense was playing, and the way their offense was playing. Those hot boys were on it. The linebackers were there. Hey, we got to sit Sean Lee. We sat Sean Lee for a good portion of the game because we had that cushion, and that's what we need. We were able to sit Sean Lee for a while. We got Leighton Vander Esch in. He actually looked very good while he was there. In the beginning of the game, Saquon Barkley is very slippery, man. That's a slippery guy. Yeah, we did miss some tackles. There was quite a few plays where Saquon Barkley should have lost 5 or 6 yards, and he ended up, getting back to the line of scrimmage. Kayvon Frazier played outstanding. He missed a few tackles. That's my breakout player of the year, guys, on the defense. Man, they played really, really well. Even though you look at 33 and 44 for Eli Manning, he completed 33 passes. Still really good. As far as Dak Prescott, big time turnaround, guys. He only had 160 yards passing, and when I say that, I know you think, how in the hell is that? He played. There's no way he only had 160 yards passing, but that's what you need when we had a combined of almost 150 yards. Let me add this up: 78 and 45 and 15, 60 and 78 is 138. We had 138 yards rushing, and Ezekiel Elliott only had 17 carries. So it really just an well-rounded game, exactly what we were looking for. They got rid of those damn bubble screens that we kept seeing. That was driving me nuts on third down, and they did it once in the second quarter, and I did get pissed last night. I threw my water bottle across the damn room, and I said, here we go. It's 10-0, and they're going to go back to what they were doing last week, and they did for a while. They went into halftime. They made the adjustments. We're off the hot boys now. We're on offense. This is business on offense, and it is nothing but it was so awesome last night. I'm going back into hot boy mode again. I can't help it. It was so awesome last night when the defense, or excuse me, the Giants were starting to rally. They were starting to get a little momentum, and you seen DeMarcus Lawrence step off the line while the Giants were in the huddle, and he's telling the fans to get up, and he's doing this, and he was dancing, and I'm like, dude, it's third down, one of the biggest plays of the game. Giants are moving the ball, and DeMarcus Lawrence was getting the crowd pumped up. That's confidence in our defense, guys, and that's what we had last night. It was so awesome to see the defense coming onto the field, and you're like, hell yeah, here comes the defense, baby. I mean, it was that electrifying. Matter of fact, starting the second half, it was good we got the ball in the first half. We went down and scored, and it was even better that the strength of our team right now is our defense, and our defense came out to start the second half, and I was like, this is what we need. I want New York to have the ball first because I want to shut down this momentum coming out of the second half. We want to stop them right here and tell them this game, you're not going to turn the game around. You can't say, oh, it's good we got the ball coming out in the first half. And if we stop them there, which we did, the momentum shifts right back into they lose that momentum of having the ball. And we did it, guys. We only had one turnover in our favor. They also had the onside kick, which they got. That's another reason they had a little bit more of time of possession, as they got that extra possession on that kick. So really, guys, that's a simple breakdown of what happened. When the footage is out, the coach footage is out, I'll put that out. But if I make this video too long, it won't download over here. So great game, guys. I do want to go over real quick, a couple of the plays that played to the play on the defense, scoring plays. Let me see this here. One of them is 4th and goal. No, not this one. They list these as scoring plays, but it's actually field goal. Here we go. Eli pass middle. Here we go, guys. Yeah, let me see if I can play this one. Oh, won't let me play it. Still don't have the coaching footage out, guys, but once that comes out, I'll do another video and we'll show the scoring plays, some of the big game breaker plays. Another thing against Carolina, I was really happy to see us go back to our offense. The read option was working well. Dak Prescott commanded his respect back, which really made me proud because he deserved no respect last week. He played horrible. But again, I put that on the coaches a lot because he did not play in the preseason. He was prepared today. He put the ball in his hands, and he was willing to fight for what to wear this star and be the starting quarterback. And he did that. Those read options, he did not slide. He took hits. He got the first downs, and that right there, complete out of the closet. Like I was saying, they need to let Dak out of the closet or push him out of the closet, whatever the situation was. If it was Dak not being aggressive, then they need to kick Dak's ass out the closet. If it was the coaches holding him back, the coaches had him caged, then the coaches needed to let him out the closet and let him do what he did, and he did it. We started off the game with that long pass. Guys, we look completely different, and New York is not a defense to joke with. They're just as good a defense as North Carolina, as the Carolina Panthers. So I think we had an amazing game. Big props to the Hot Boys. I also added Kevin Frazier to my list of jerseys. The guy is playing outstanding. Heath is playing well too. He did get burned on that one play. That's going to happen sometimes, but that was it. We had two plays we got beat on. Was that one? The other one was the long pass early in the game. I think in the second quarter, Chidobe Awuzie. He didn't get beat. He was there step for step. The receiver was there. He turned, actually put his hand up. He was at the same elevation as the receiver. It just barely missed his hand, and the receiver caught it. It was an outstanding throw by Eli, and you cannot beat a perfect throw. And that's all that happened. So I want to get this video, guys, out. Great freaking game. Big time turnaround. We can smile all week, and we got a big game coming up this week. We got to beat Seattle. Also, guys, Seattle has to lose tonight. Seattle's in the Monday night game. If they lose and then we beat them next week, we go 3-0. They go 0-3. Seattle will be 0-3, and they have no reason to keep Earl Thomas. Their season, basically, with the rest of their schedule the way it is, their season doesn't look good. It's better for them to release Earl Thomas, go ahead and make the trade, and get something for him now. The reason they kept Earl Thomas was because they are thinking Earl Thomas can help us this year immensely. If their season starts off good, they have a reason to keep Earl Thomas because they're looking at the playoffs. If they start off 0-3, if they lose tonight and we beat them next week, plus we're past them, they can trade Earl Thomas to us, and they don't have to play him this season. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big bonus for us. We got to have Chicago beat Seattle tonight. Chicago beat Seattle, and then we beat them next week. Earl Thomas changes uniforms possibly. Now that if they win tonight, they win next week. Seattle's still in the game. They're 2-1. They're definitely in playoff contention. You know, every game counts. So if we can get them 0-3, if Chicago wins, we win. Earl Thomas has a very likely, much more likely chance of getting traded before October 30th. So here we go, guys. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the video. I'll put another one out that'll have some game footage on it as soon as the game footage comes out that I can release. Thanks, guys. Cowboy Crunk for life, baby. Cowboy fans, let's do this.